Gosh, I don't even know where to start with this one. Marvel decided on Wednesday to drop the new full season of Marvel Zombies, a multiverse take on the MCU where zombies infest Earth's mightiest heroes. This, of course, is a film adaptation of the Marvel Zombies comics. Marvel Zombies did come out in the What If series, and I guess got enough traction that it was made into a 4-episode series. And so here we are, Marvel Zombies. I'm just going to let you know right now that this video will include massive spoilers from this point on. If you don't want your viewing experience to be ruined, go watch the series, then come back to this video because I have thoughts. Lots and lots of thoughts. Again, last warning, so turn away. I don't know how to be more honest than this, but Marvel Zombies does not make any freaking sense. I'm not saying that it doesn't have a plot that I can follow with characters throughout the MCU. No, I'm just saying once you watch Marvel Zombies all the way to the end, you have to ask yourself, why did the story even remotely play itself out the way that it did? The Marvel Zombies series starts us off in what we assume is New York City 5 years after the zombie apocalypse. We are introduced to 3 characters: Kate Bishop from Hawkeye, Riri Williams from Ironheart, and Kamala Khan from Ms. Marvel. We're thrown straight into the action right off the bat because a Quinjet crashes through the city. The 3 ladies go to the Explorer to find out its pilot's dead, but something was left inside of its body.
There's nothing in here. I wouldn't be so sure. There we go. I'm getting a signature from the cockpit.
Early in the show, you're going to find these random events happening just to keep the plot moving along. Do we know what was piloting this Quinjet? Nope. Do we know why the Quinjet crashed in New York City? Again, no. How lucky that this Quinjet with this valuable cylinder that we learn eventually can contact Nova Corp just happens to reach the 3 people that can even find it, extract it from its hosts, figure out what it is, and figure out where they need to go to actually decipher it. This is okay if this was planned, like Wanda the big bad villain's idea to get Kamala out of hiding, but even that wouldn't make sense.
Let's just say Wanda didn't send the Quinjet,
which is probably more likely. She would have never found Kamala then, and never been able to accomplish what she was seeking the entire season. This whole freaking story relies on this random-ass Quinjet dropping by Kamala, who probably doesn't even know that she's there. Ugh, it's just so stupid. I'm sorry, it's stupid. Find a better way to start your story.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
The alternative is Wanda sending this Quinjet, and that doesn't make sense either, because if she really wanted to find Kamala, she would just do it. Or if she knew she was in New York, she would just go there, kidnap Kamala, and use her for her plan instead of going down this rabbit hole. The MCU has already set up Wanda with god-tier powers, so why would she be held back by Riri Williams and Kate Bishop? We see what happens to them. Anyways, they get the transmitter from the dead zombie, only to be attacked by Hawkeye. The only zombie left in New York, I guess? I maybe could believe this because it's 5 years after the incident, but I can't because they parade zombies around in the show in a whole bunch of different locations that people don't even live in. I've driven through Ohio. Big swaths of it are nothing. Next, the girls in Hawkeye battle, only for them to get away. Later we learn that this isn't the first time they've been to the city, and you would think that if Hawkeye has this ability to almost headshot Kate Bishop from a 2-story building, we might have been able to follow back to their lair with a team of zombie minions, but again, we are only going to use the zombies when it's convenient to the plot.
Wow, these fellas really let themselves go.
And they're so fat.
The girls then get back to their headquarters, base, whatever you want to call it. It's really just Kate Bishop's house, and begin to analyze the transmitter. Riri uses her big brain to tell us how it was shrunk. It needs a shield motherboard to unlock it. This is at the point that I realized, if you don't know these characters from other MCU projects, you aren't going to really care about these characters. But at the same time, if you actually understand the timeline and where these characters came from, you also are not going to care, except when they die. Then you smile. The issue with using all of these characters that nobody actually cares about and throwing them into a story where their backstory is semi-important is you lose the emotional payoff when you have sincere moments where they reflect on the loved ones they've lost. Kamala at some point looks at a picture of her family with sadness. I know who they are. And I know how much her family meant to her because I watched Miss Marvel, unfortunately. But most people probably didn't. I know the connection between Kate Bishop and Hawkeye because I watched Hawkeye, unfortunately. But there were scenes that I had no idea what was going on, or who the character was because I didn't watch those specific shows. This is a problem that plagues the entire show because more side B characters show up in every single episode. The other issue with character interaction is finding out where we actually are in this timeline. I will expand on this more when we talk about Thanos, but has the Marvels taken place? Did Kamala ever meet Captain Marvel? We can assume some of these, but others leave massive plot holes. So the girls decide to go on their quest to take the MacGuffin transmitter and use it to save the world. The girls take Riri's car, which has more references to shows that I haven't seen, and head to Ohio. I wonder if some boomer was like, you know what? These kids would totally watch this show if we included Ohio. I guarantee there was probably a shield base closer than that, but whatever. Off to Ohio we go, where they can riz on them skibbity toilets. The drive is uneventful until the girls stumble upon a giant valley crater, wondering what caused it, and then eventually decide to drive through it. I don't know about you, but I'd probably stay on the main road first before venturing out into the unknowns of nature. I get it. It looks pretty flat and drivable, but you don't know what's at the end of this valley. New York to Ohio is an Appalachian territory with lots of hills and trees. They could easily run into obstacles that would make them have to turn around, but nah. Plunge forward! The girls notice a storm brewing ahead, but realize quickly that this is not a natural storm. Within seconds, the car is being bombarded with beams of light from Captain Marvel, and the car flips over only to be protected by Kamala. The girls escape the wreckage only to be fired upon by Captain Marvel again. If Captain Marvel is intentionally trying to shoot them, she sucks. I don't think she is though, because as we learn later, she's in an internal battle with Icarus. Who is that? That's what I had to ask, because I thought he was Adam Warlock. See what I mean? If you didn't watch Eternals, you would no idea who this guy is. It's that time again. Plot hole time. This is your favorite section where we once again reveal an enormous plot hole in this show. Now, we are never going to actually get answers to these questions, but why is Captain Marvel here? Remember, this is supposed to be a pre-Thanos Infinity Gauntlet, or at least that's what we figured out, when we watched the episode in the What If show. That means Captain Marvel shouldn't even be on Earth. But Mr. Adaptation Nation person, what if she gets a distress call like she did in the Infinity Saga with Nick Fury? Good answer. We found out later in the series that Nova Corps is already blockading the planet. Sure, I can give you that Captain Marvel flew back faster than them to address the situation, but I think immediately upon her arrival, she would understand the predicament humanity is. Are we to actually believe that Captain Marvel is easily bit by a zombie? This is another god tier character. Also, what about Icarus? If he's another god tier character who is inorganic, why didn't he do anything to stop the outbreak before Captain Marvel showed up? I just can't. Plot holes are bigger than the stratosphere. Honestly, if you have a god tier character, or if you have god tier characters in this show, there's no freaking reason why all of these zombies and their hero counterparts haven't been blasted into oblivion. Since the non-god tier characters have been mowing them down pretty easy, we're still only on the first episode. I get it. We know the ending, so going back, it's easier to see the plot holes, but this one isn't caused by the ending. It's caused by the stupidity of the writers to include Captain Marvel. She could have easily followed Nova Corps standard and just avoided the planet. We didn't need her. As the girls are reevaluating their surroundings, they are attacked by a group of zombies that is behind them. Another blast from Captain Marvel scatters them. Kate Bishop then sees zombies coming up from the earth. Like, what? Were they buried in the blast? How? Whatever. There's a little combat as the girls fight off the horde, and then Icarus and Captain Marvel crash on the ground so the girls can get a good look before fighting up in the sky again. Kate decides, you know what? These beings who obviously can fly and have really enormous powers that can destroy the earth and create lightning and thunder in the sky, I bet they can die by an arrow that I got from Hawkeye.
I'm an idiot! You're an idiot!
Captain Marvel comes charging at Kate. Kate hits her with an arrow, only for it to release confetti. Kate realizes she's dead, and Captain Marvel nukes her to oblivion. I actually laughed. I don't hate Kate Bishop as a character, but the whole ordeal is just hilarious. I also appreciate Disney actually killing a character, but that doesn't really matter because this isn't the main brand they're trying to sell, so they can kill off as many characters as they want. Kate's death is one of the few that actually has some depth behind it. Even though in the very long 20 minutes, we can see how this affected Kamala, even though we didn't get to know these characters that well. I mean, sure, she charges straight at Captain Marvel, which results in Riri getting bit by a zombie. In the end, you realize all of these deaths are pointless, but I was going to be ticked off if Marvel zombies had a happy ending anyways. Riri sacrifices herself, kind of, to save Kamala. Kamala runs away from the gods fighting, only to be rescued by Blade on a motorcycle. Here's my little ounce of positivity. Don't get too overwhelmed. I actually like Blade in the series. I think it was fun to use him and make him the avatar of Khonshu. Does it make sense most of the time? No, it doesn't. But it's fun. And I kind of like fun. Sometimes. Okay, now back to bashing this show into oblivion. Look, guys, another god tier superhero who can break the plot! I'm not basing this off of Moonlight, which would break the plot even more, but off of Blade's own speech. Khonshu spoke to Blade. Khonshu told Blade to rescue the girls that went into the valley. Khonshu knows about the device. So, what you are saying is that Khonshu can observe all around the world. Would it not then be important at this point to tell Kamala that the Queen of Death, Wanda, is looking for her? Would it not be important at this point to talk about the horde of zombies that are approaching to kill? Nah! Let's just not be as informative as possible to defeat the biggest major threat to the universe. This is the problem with the MCU. You can't introduce all of these god-tier heroes and not expect the whole freaking system to be broken. That's not even to talk about the other Egyptian gods that I guess are just chilling on the sidelines. Screw this show. I love the animation so much, but why does it have to be so stupid? Kamala and Blade montage quickly to the SHIELD base in Ohio. Blade says the comment will be found soon. When Kamala questions it, he just ignores her. Awesome. You could prep everybody, but nope. The two run into a wall of zombies. There's a quick banter between Kamala and, oh gosh, who the hell is that? Oh, that's right, the mother from Black Widow, the one that worked on pigs. You know what would be helpful? Character introductions. But we don't get that. Kamala and Blade just walk up to Yelena, Russian Captain America, and the mother, and exposit plot without even knowing who these people are. You just trust these people? Why? In a zombie apocalypse with ridiculous superhero / villains, you would think some kind of trust should be earned.
You see, you just can't trust anyone. The first time I let a girl into my life and she tries to eat me.
I guess the characters in The Walking Dead had it all wrong. There's so much more that is broken in this scene. How did the mother implant chips into all of these zombies that she was able to control them? How did Russian Captain America even get to Ohio? The last time we knew where he was in a prison in Russia. I guess all three of them moved to America after the end of Black Widow and lived in Ohio? These three characters literally could have been anyone else. You could have thrown in Monica Rambeau from the Marvels or the scientists from Thor and WandaVision. These could have been SHIELD agents like Maria Hill, but nah, let's throw the other knockoff foreigners from other crappy films. I say they literally could have thrown anybody else in because all three, the Russian Captain America, Yelena, and the mother, all have pitifully stupid deaths. Okay, we're almost done. Just a little bit longer of this torture. I forget to mention this earlier, but after the three girls left New York, the zombie horde came to visit the Quinjet crash site, led by Okaya, or Okai. Yes, I looked up the pronunciation video to get it right, and yes, I still butchered it. Okie dokie, and the rest of the horde controlled by Wanda are looking for the transmitter. Or at least that's what we are led to believe. The horde follows Kamala Blade to the Ohio SHIELD base. I know these zombie shows rarely make sense, but can you tell me how a giant zombie horde was able to travel thousands of miles and get there shortly after Kamala and Blade, who were traveling in a car and on a motorcycle? I can kind of understand how the zombies in Game of Thrones were able to move that way and attack Winterfell without sustaining major damage to the zombie figure due to the cold temperatures, but how did the zombies in Marvel Zombies do it for 5 years? Game of Thrones at least continued to reiterate from season 1 that winter was coming. What do Marvel zombies have? They're in North America, where the temperatures fluctuate drastically from winter to summer. I also just don't get the point of the zombie horde outside of dramatic effect. Why did you wait 5 years to send this massive force after Kamala? I made this point before, so I don't want to belabor it. The horde and the good guys battle it out. There's some nifty fight sequence with Zombie Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Abomination, how he got here from whatever prison he was in, I don't know, and Captain America, who clearly bites the Russian Captain America on the leg but doesn't turn into a zombie.
Fighting is cheating! I'm holding back a siege here.
Oh, poor Riri. She got nipped and she was long gone. The horde eventually overruns the base, and the mother, Melanie, oh that's her name, decides to sacrifice herself for absolutely no reason. It's not like she blew up some massive bomb that can only be manually activated. She just puts down the security door and engages with the zombie horde head on. She gets stabbed, and that's it. Now, we get to play the game Make It Make Sense. The game where you try to make it make sense. See, Wanda needs Kamala. We don't find this out until episode 3, or really till the very end of the show as well. But it seems pretty obvious that Wanda needs her power to do something with the Infinity Stones in the end. Wanda will have plenty of opportunities to kill Kamala in the future. So why does she send Ghost to kill Kamala? Ghost literally lunges at Kamala only to be stopped by Blade. If Blade isn't there, Kamala's dead. And whatever Wanda was after would not happen. So again, make it make sense. Do we want Kamala dead or not? Are we really going after the transmitter? That's pointless because Nova Corps is already there. Make up your damn mind. The rest of the good guys make it out. Yelena has a dumb scene where she doesn't realize the mother is dead. That's stupid. The Russians agree to help Kamala find a ship to space, and Blade/Khonshu says he knows where a ship is. No. If you were all knowing, why don't you tell them this stuff before the plot needs it? Hey guys, just letting you know, there's a zombie horde after us. We're gonna want to escape now because there's way too many of them, and oh, there's a ship to take us to space so we can escape this hellhole planet. Thanks, Khonshu! Instead, we get this information after people have died. Thanks, Khonshu! This was a drag. That was a real drag, and it's only the first episode. And the first episode was the best. I think this is a good point to stop. Marvel Zombies is a good show if you turn your brain off and just enjoy the animation. The visuals are epic. The fights are cool. I like the idea, but the second you turn on your brain, you realize how stupid the plot is. Marvel Zombies could be better than this, because all this is just Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness reskinned. Wanda wants Kamala for her powers. Wanda distorts reality. Wanda is the big bad villain. Wanda kills heroes we love. And it wasn't good before. So what makes it good now? So what are your thoughts of the first episode or the whole season? Do you think I should tackle the rest of the season or quit while I'm ahead? Leave a comment, a like, and subscribe. I appreciate you all, and especially if you watched till the end of the video. Thanks for being a part of Adaptation, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.